Biracial people are getting on TikTok and telling them all the things that their white mother did to them while growing up. And some of it obviously is going to be being called the N-word, being called colored, being called slaves. And I always like to point out that I keep telling y'all this shit. I keep telling y'all, and y'all want to fight me. Stop pretending that your mom was not racist. Stop writing in my comments, oh, not some, my mom. And it's like, you even commenting that on my post tells me everything I need to know. Soon as you come in my comments and you're like, as a white mom biracial, you're just a hater. Are you calling me the N-word? Because that's what I'm hearing. And then y'all want to prove so bad. And everyone knows that white mom biracials show up darker than black mom biracials. So y'all just be my mom is white. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all just let us know. And I would just like to point out that your mother saying the N-word is a problem.
This take might be a bit too picante for the populace, but I think one of the reasons that biracials with white moms end up adopting this too white for the black kids, too black for the white mythology is because that's the messaging they receive from their mothers. What are my credentials? Imagine. But I was reflecting on this recently because growing up, a lot of the time, I felt distinctly other, and I was one of those mixed kids that felt like I didn't want to be associated with black culture and desperately tried to white knuckle, hair straighten, punk rock my way, book read my way into whiteness. When I actually reflect on my upbringing and on my adolescence, the black girls weren't rude to me or dismissive of me or frankly ambivalent towards me because I was mixed. It was because I was insufferable. And I learned how to be that insufferable somewhere. And I think it was from my mother. I learned it by understanding my hair and my very being as inconvenient. I learned to recognize my own blackness as a source of frustration. And when I did hear positive things about my blackness, it was things like, well, white people tan their skin to look like you. People perm their hair to have hair like yours. And it was always done in this super fetishizing way that didn't ever leave me feeling proud of my blackness. And when I looked around my family and the dynamics of my family and how they engaged with race, how they thought about blackness, I wasn't exactly picking up from them that it was something that I should be proud of as a component of my identity. I was actually encouraged to see myself neutrally, and neutral is white. I also internalized the idea that black people were monolithic and behaved and engaged in a very specific way that was overtly and subtly conveyed to me as being not very good.
So how is that being black, biracial, growing up with a majority white family?
I hate it.
So out of these terms, like which ones kind of resonates with you the most? Like black, biracial, or black, biracial?
I love being black. I feel very connected to being black. I also feel connected to biracial because that's the box that I've checked the most in my life. Growing up biracial was challenging. I grew up in a dominantly white neighborhood for most of my life, and my father being an African immigrant.
My mom was a racist white woman, and she hated black people, which is crazy because look at me, guys. I'm black. I am black. And when I tell you, she used to ask me all the time why I didn't have blonde hair, blue eyes, and light skin. I'm like, Mom, you're the one who ended up with the black man. Why are you asking me why I'm not light-skinned? Like, you should be asking yourself why I'm not light-skinned, okay? And throughout most embarrassing thing, throughout elementary school, through almost like beginning of high school, I would tell people I wasn't black because my mom was like determined and brainwashed me to believe that I wasn't black. So embarrassing. Why did people even talk to me? Like I was adamant I was not black. And when they would ask me, I'd be like, well, I'm not black. I don't know what you mean. And they were like, what the fuck do you think I mean? So embarrassing.
So ladies and gentlemen, today we are going to be talking about a generation that is not afraid, a generation that will stand still and ask questions, a generation that is not afraid to call a spade rather than a big spoon, I'm talking about this generation. So in this particular episode, but first, you are welcome to the channel and I hope that you're doing well today. So in this particular channel, you know how we do it. You know, we come up with these particular topics whereby, you know, they affect how we relate with each other in the community. And on this episode, we are seeing how the biracial kids are coming forth and calling on their white parents. They're telling their white parents that there are certain things that you should not be doing. There are certain things that this community that I am in, that they are in, is not really good or rather well resonating to. So take it for example, you have a biracial kid. These kids, they're going to school, they're going to make friends with other kids who are either white or the black kids. And now we have this particular creator who is literally explaining that before you decide to have a kid outside your community, outside the black community, white community, you should be able to learn and know these are some of the things that have been there. They've been depriving this particular community, and your kid should be growing up knowing that this and that is not allowed. And we have this creator, this biracial kid in this video, who is saying that when she was growing up, she was just being told, you know, like, you need to act normal, you need to be this certain way. And normal to her was being white than being black. And she didn't really understand what was going on. And her family members used to use the N-word a lot of times, and she wasn't taking it. Constantly, she could go and call out the parent that this is not what you're supposed to be doing. So we see in this video that even these kids, they are like fed up. They are fed up of their parents trying to derive their attention away from their communities. Because I believe, like, if your dad, I don't know, like biologically, everything, you know, you could be biracial, but if you have a dad who's black, typically you're black, you know. And because you can even see on the gene domination, like the black genes dominate a lot. So I'm just wondering, like, if you have a biracial kid, or you have a biracial parent, or you yourself, you are biracial, how do you deal with this constant segmentation when it comes to race, when it comes to how people even look at you? Because they look at you on a certain way that is not appealing. They look at you on a certain way that you yourself don't even want. So guys, just in case you're new here, again, my name is Yvonne and you are welcome to being part of my online family. Thank you so much to my new subscribers, to my returning subscribers. Again, I appreciate this, and you know how we do. Leave the comments down below. Let me know what you think about this particular subject, and maybe if you have few ideas on how maybe the upcoming parents who have biracial kids, they can be able to put them, or rather educate them in a way that they can feel that they fit into the community. You know how we do. Until next time.